on, guys? It's Trevor Plays here, back again with another character discussion video. This video is obviously for Katsuki Bakugo, or the explosion hero Kacchan, or King, or Lord Explosion Murder. He doesn't really have a hero name, same thing with Deku. So there's that. We are doing Katsuki Bakugo today, and well, I know that this is a later upload than I usually do, but that is because, well, I didn't really feel like recording yesterday when I normally do these, so that way they're up on the right day. And I was gonna do this earlier today, but then I had to go run around and do some stuff, so I decided I'm doing it right now, and yeah, here we go. So, obviously, here we go. We're talking about Katsuki Bakugo, our resident hothead and rival of Deku. Quirk is explosion. Well, we obviously know what his quirk is. Katsuki's quirk allows him to secrete nitroglycerin-like sweat from his palms and detonate. And detonate it at will. To create explosions. Obviously, we found that out, that his mom had one quirk and his dad had another quirk, and then he became, a thing, and he can create explosions because of both of their quirks. Now, here's something that we found out of Katsuki's, abilities. One is he has an enhanced strength, which kind of makes sense because his explosions are very strong and powerful. So it does make sense that he packs quite a punch. Also, he has keen intellect. I've said this multiple times, and I'm saying it here again. Same thing with Deku, Uraraka, and Tsuyu. Bakugo also has keen intellect, so we are probably going to see that a lot throughout the top 10 list of my favorite characters. A lot of my favorite characters are actually some of the smartest people in the class, so that's that. Next, also, which was kind of surprising, but we found out late in the manga that Bakugo actually has some musical talent. So musical talent that takes place in the Cultural Fest arc, and that I cannot wait for it to be animated and available for us to see, because to me it is one of the best things that expresses more of some of our other characters that we don't really spend too much time on, and also we get to see some stuff from Class 1B as well, which they end up doing a play that when that episode comes in the anime, I will talk about it then. But the play that they do is, let's just say it's a mixed match of everything that you wouldn't think would be in a story together. So there is that. But I will talk about that when we get to there. So here we go. Next on is some of his super moves that Katsuki Bakugo has used throughout the story and up until now. He has used Blast Rush Turbo. This is the one where he spins around and pretty much becomes a propelling missile. Really, that's pretty much it. The next one is Stun Grenade. He has used Stun Grenade a lot of times because, well, it's very effective on some opponents. And obviously, Stun Grenade, you stun them and they're blind. So, what can you do? A one and most common special move that or super move or whatever that he has used is Howitzer Impact. And he has used this a lot of times. I think he's used it multiple times within the story against Deku and at the Sports Fest. So we have seen that a lot, and he has kind of trained on it a little bit. But that is when we get onto his training on his super moves, which was recently shown in the anime with Gym Gamma. So he learned the AP shot, and then later in the Provisional License exam, he uses the AP shot, but it is called the auto cannon. He can rapid fire his AP shot, which is pretty cool. So we will see that animated very soon. So hopefully you guys are ready to see that. Next, here are some of the battles. Obviously, you know, Bakugo's and Deku's videos are going to be kind of longer because, well, they are two of the main characters of the story and all that. So, obviously, Bakugo's battles are a little bit different. So, obviously, you know, he versed Deku in the Battle Trial arc, which was the first arc. And that was when we first saw his Howitzer Impact and Stun Grenade. And then a little bit of the Blast Rush Turbo as well. And then he lost that because of, you know, Deku's plan and all this other stuff. So then we have the USJ, him and Kirishima were teamed up and teleported to a construction site or whatever in buildings, and they were fighting villains, and they won that, obviously, because, you know, Bakugo and Kirishima, they're a good team and they're best friends. So next we have the All Might, Deku, Bakugo, Shoto, and Kirishima versus the League of Villains. Now, this was at the end of the USJ arc, which I thought was really good to see. That not only was Shoto being pushed up as a main character, but also Kirishima as well. And not only that, but once the second season came around, Shoto was part of the main cast at that point because it was his turn to get some of his backstory out, and so we know some of it. And then Kirishima was kind of pushed back a little bit, but he will come back up again pretty soon in a couple arcs from now. So there's that. Next we have the UA Sports Fest. So here we go with the Sports Fest. So it was Team Bakugo versus Team Monoma. He won that because he was up against Monoma from Class 1B. Granted, yes, his quirk is kind of OP using copy, so he can copy anybody's quirk. But nobody can beat Bakugo in a Rage Fest, so yeah, there's that. Next, he versed Uraraka in 1v1 matches, and he beat her, and he blamed Deku, thinking that it was his idea of how she went along with her own plan or whatever, and Deku said, no, that was actually her plan. I had nothing to do with it. I actually had no idea she was going to do it. So then Bakugo was still kind of, you know, he's always mad at Deku, but then he began to think about, you know, maybe I should respect Uraraka a little bit just because, you know, it was her own plan, and it almost worked on me. So there is that. Next we have Kirishima versus Bakugo, and obviously he won that because he was able to use his quirk very efficiently, and, you know, Kirishima's hardening quirk wasn't as it is now, so he was losing some of his stamina and degrading his hardening, so it kind of was easy for him to be defeated. Next was Tokoyami versus Bakugo. Obviously this is a light versus dark match or whatever, and we found out that yes, this is the weakness to Tokoyami and Dark Shadow, which is light, and that is when I think he used Stun Grenade on Tokoyami's Dark Shadow and figured out that yes, light is his weakness. Then after that we have Bakugo versus Shoto, and this was a good fight at first. I was actually really excited to see Bakugo and Shoto actually fight, but then it kind of became one-sided after Shoto just, like, you know, he's like, I don't need to do this anymore. I don't need to use it. I don't need to use my fire side anymore. And, like, I understand where he was going with, because it was Deku who brought it out, and sure, Bakugo wanted him to use it on him as well, but Shoto was like, I've used it up. I can't really use it anymore. Not until, you know, little later. But, you know, he felt pretty bad about it, but, you know, whatever. Next we have the final exam. Now, the final exam arc I thought was amazing because he was teamed up with Deku, and they had to fight All Might. Now, obviously we know All Might, #1 hero and mentor to Deku and all this other stuff, but Deku and Bakugo both have a past of looking up to All Might inspiring to be a hero like All Might and never giving up like All Might. And, you know, it was kind of good to see these two rivals actually team up and then, you know, escape from All Might. But there is pretty much that. Next, we have Bakugo and Shoto versus Moonfish in the Forest Training Arc, which was interrupted. It was only interrupted because Tokoyami was out of control of Dark Shadow, and Deku and Shoji lured him over to where they were, and Dark Shadow took care of Moonfish. So there is that. Now, here we are in the Provisional License exam, and this is where we are at right now in the anime, in both sub and dub, but the sub is like 2 or 3 episodes ahead, and I think the next episode for the sub is this battle right here, and it is Kaminari, Bakugo, and Kirishima versus Seiji from, I think, he's from Shiketsu. So they verse him and they win it, but the way that they win it is, I wasn't expecting it at all, but I'm not gonna spoil it too much. But all you need to know is, yes, they do win, because it is going to be animated pretty soon. So if you guys are watching the sub, then you will be able to watch it this Saturday, or well, tomorrow, and all that. And if you're watching the dub, you will be seeing it a couple weeks from now. Like I've said before, I am watching both sub and dub. I'm doing my anime reviews over the dub because that's how I've been doing it. I've been doing the dub reviews since the very start, and I'm still gonna do it. And sure, I mean, yeah, it's, you either like this one or that one, but I like both, so I'm watching both, and I'm just reviewing one of them, and I've already read the manga up to present, so I'm pretty far ahead, and I know my knowledge of some My Hero, and I am actually pretty excited for the next couple of arcs that are coming out in the rest of this season, and hopefully the next couple of seasons to come. Now, next after that is the internship arc, which is where, this is still manga territory here, but this part is where they actually take up with other pro heroes. This is their actual full internship, and it's not like the partway one that they did way back in season 2. That one was just a mini one. It wasn't really too much because all Deku really did was go meet Gran Torino, learn how to focus on his full cowl, and then that was it. So now, actually, the internship arc is working with different pro heroes and other assistants and all this other stuff, which is probably one of the best arcs so far, as well as the Chisake arc, which I'm pretty sure is the same arc-ish. But other than that, they're pretty good around there. Next, we have Bakugo stats. Now, Bakugo stats are actually pretty high. Like I said before, with his super moves and his abilities and all that, let's just go into his stats. So here are his stats. Power and technique are both 5 out of 5. Speed and intelligence are 4 out of 5s, and cooperativeness is a 1 out of 5. Now, we know that his cooperativeness is a 1 out of 5 because he doesn't really communicate that well with anybody. I mean, sure, yes, he's friends with Kirishima and Kaminari. It's just that the way that it is Kaminari and Kirishima are actually, like, they show more of a friendship, and then Kirishima and Bakugo, their relationship is kind of but you know, they respect each other and trust each other, and they team up. They've teamed up a lot, like a lot throughout the story. So it's kind of like dead set that Kirishima and Bakugo are going to be best friends, and they are best friends. And Kaminari is kind of in that little clique in a way. He's normally just there in the background, but he has kind of come around and been somewhat friendly with Bakugo, and sometimes he teases him a little bit, but that's normal. That's what everybody does. They normally tease Bakugo for a while. Now, his intelligence and speed. Speed is actually a lot higher than I thought it was going to be, but that is probably because of his Blast Rush Turbo. That is when he, propels himself with his explosions and all that, and he is actually pretty fast. Now, when he uses his Blast Rush Turbo, that increases the speed and, propulsion of his body. So, he goes really fast. Now, his intelligence is also pretty high, is a 4 out of 5, and we know this because he has passed a lot of the tests. Written, physical, and, just getting in as well. So there is that. Now, technique and power. Obviously, we know Bakugo is one of the strongest one of the strongest characters in Class 1A, alongside Shoto and Deku, obviously. But he's really just one of the strongest characters. That's all you really need to know. So there's not really much more I can go off of that, but yeah. Next is the final part of this video, and this is the relationships with classmates and other people. Now, for this one, we actually have Bakugo's parents, Mitsuki and Mashiru. Mitsuki is Bakugo's mother. And he doesn't seem to hold much respect for his mother, as he insulted and threatened her in front of All Might and Aizawa. However, these threats are more like his usual childish reaction to everything, and he doesn't seem genuine. And similar to his mother, Mitsuki Bakugo, Katsuki does not appear to hold much respect for his father. Even telling his own father to be quiet in front of All Might and Aizawa. However, these threats are more like his usual childish reaction, and they're not genuine. So, obviously, Bakugo has I guess you could say, like, weird relationship or whatever with his mom and dad, and it's kind of funny though when we did see his mom, because when we first saw her, she was slapping him on the head and doing all this other stuff. So we kind of see where he got his temper from, and we found out that that is how he got his quirk, is because his mom has one part of the quirk and his dad has the other one, and Bakugo has both. So there is that. Now, the other relationships he has as well, Deku is one of them. Obviously, we know he's a childhood friend and rival of Bakugo. We have seen a lot of, I guess, friendly-ish discussions and chats here and there. Most of the time, it's mostly just put-downs and, just telling Deku that he's useless and all this other stuff. But we all know that, Bakugo will come around eventually. And there is that. Next is Kirishima. Obviously, like I said before, Kirishima has been around Bakugo for a while, and they have seemed to become very good friends. Now, not only that, but they are kind of compatible because of, one, his quirk is Explosion, and Kirishima's is Hardening, and they teamed up for the cavalry battle. So there was kind of, a little bit of a, camaraderie there. Also, Kaminari was on the team as well. Oh wait, no, Kaminari was not on that team. Kaminari was with Shoto, I think. But other than that, they're pretty much friends and all that. And the next one is Kaminari. They are seen together most of the time. There has been a few times where Kaminari has teased Bakugo, I think. But other than that, he has been friendly with them. They have teamed up together, like I said before, in here with the battles. And Bakugo's kind of coming around to being friends with Kaminari as well. So next we have Shoto. He calls him Icy Hot and doesn't really like Shoto, but he does kind of respect how he is one of the strongest characters in the class and all that. So they kind of have a rivalry as well. So it's not only just a rivalry of Deku, it's also a rivalry with Shoto because they are the top 3 strongest characters in the class. So it's kind of like a mutual respect-ish rivalry kind of thing with Shoto. Next is with Uraraka. He teases her a lot. He called her pink cheeks in the sports fest because he just gave her a nickname or whatever. So it's kind of funny to see their reactions to each other, and it was kind of just there for comedic effect. He has somewhat of a relationship with Ida. It wasn't really shown too much, but he really just doesn't like Ida's strict nature and, responsibility of being the class rep and all that. So, it's eh. Next is All Might. Like I said before, Bakugo has looked up to All Might for a long time, since he was a little kid. Now, when he found out that All Might's quirk is gone, it hit him hard. He thought it was his fault. So, it hit Bakugo hard, and he just couldn't deal with it too much, and he just was like, alright, I guess I have to do this because, we have to move on. Next is Aizawa. Well, homeroom teacher. He does kind of respect Aizawa as well because he has saved his life a couple of times, and All Might as well. But Aizawa is one of the teachers that has always been around and has always, I guess, been kind of supportive here or there in his own sense. But other than that, I'm pretty sure we all know Aizawa's a good guy, and yeah. Next we have Sero, and well, Sero, he has mocked and, laughed at Bakugo a couple of times, but other than that, he has seemed to be a little bit friendlier to him. Sero, that is. So they kind of have a acquaintance-ish relationship or whatever, but it's still, everyone in the class they all have their little groups or whatever, but Sero has kind of nudged his way in there a little bit. So there is that. Now next is Best Jeanist. Best Jeanist is somebody that Bakugo took an internship with way back in Season 2 for a small period of the internship or whatever. And he didn't really like going around with him because he kept on making his hair not spiky and, down and all that. But, so Bakugo kind of didn't really like Best Jeanist, but then again, he kind of did respect him for being a pro hero. It was just pretty awkward for him to be around him sometimes, and, is a... next, we have Monoma. Oh, Monoma. Wait till I do Class 1B. He will be the first one, because I do not like Monoma at all. Monoma is my least favorite character from Class 1B, I have to say. So, yes. I do agree with Bakugo in his rage moment with Monoma. I agree. I would totally do the same thing. And I just don't like Monoma as a character. So hopefully I can get through his character discussion without I don't know. I just hope I can get through it. Finally, we have Shigaraki. So yes, we all know Tomura Shigaraki by now. He is now the leader of the League of Villains, since All For One is now in jail. So he tried to get Bakugo to join the League of Villains when they kidnapped him in the Forest Training Arc, and Bakugo refused, saying, no, I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to do this like All Might does, and screw you guys. That's pretty much what he said. So, yeah. Shigaraki being one of the main villains of the series, I do kind of like him, just because of how they portray his character. Sometimes, he's straightforward, sometimes he's kind of just, out there or whatever, but other than that, Shigaraki is one of, I would say he is kind of one of my favorite villain characters, but he's kind of lower on the list. I'd have to say Dabi is probably my number one, and Shisake is my number two, and then Toga is my number three. So, I will be doing villain characters. I've said this multiple times, but yes, I will be doing character discussions of everybody. I'll be doing Class 1A, Class 1B, students, for other students like Mei and Shinso, from UA and other school, like the other school, Shiketsu, Katsu, and one of the other ones or whatever. I will be doing character discussions on them. Then I will also be doing the pro heroes and the UA staff members, and then after that I will be doing the villains. Once we learn a little bit more about some of the villains that are still alive, and you know, work through it all and get all of these character discussion videos out on my channel for anybody to watch and enjoy. So yeah, guys, that is it for me. I've been going on for a little while now, but it is shorter than Deku's video, so I am happy about that. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like button, comment down below. Also subscribe to the channel if you are new, and click that notification bell. What do you guys, when you comment down below, what do you guys think of Baka Go? How high is he up on your list? And do you think he will get even more OP explosion moves later on in the series? So, I'm Trevor Plays. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys, and see you next time.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake. Cause I don't care at all. You've been out all night, I don't know where you've been. You're slurring all your words, not making any sense, but